This is the 2014 season recap. Coach Bob Pecknold finishes his third year as head coach of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Wake Forest finishes the year with a solid 9-4 record and a hard-fought victory in the Independence Bowl over Fresno State. A 7-6 win in a old-school defensive struggle in rainy Shreveport, Louisiana. To send ourselves out as winners, send our seniors out with a victory. While this was the least successful of the Bob Pecknold era, this is still absolutely nothing to scoff at. A 9-4 record with a bowl victory is something to be proud of. We had a lot of exciting wins this season, a lot of big wins. Proud of this year. Let's recap the 2014 season. Alright, we started off the year on the road at Kansas State, taking on the Wildcats. Neither of us were ranked entering the season, not far away from the top 25. We took an even matchup going in. Got our first points, Xavier Mansfield, a 2-yard touchdown run there for the senior halfback. Defense came up big here in the second quarter. Kansas State looked like they were threatening to tie it. Lucas with a pick six, 100-yard return. Another one from Reese, 21-0 at halftime. And 23-0 in the third quarter. Defense stepped up, forced a safety. Kansas State able to get on the board in the fourth a couple of times, but we were cruising to a victory here in week one. Very solid performance, 37-14 win to start the season. Next, we were at home against Northwestern. Northwestern beat us last season. We were looking to get some revenge, looking to get off to a 2-0 start. This was a very hard-fought game. Northwestern came out strong, got themselves a quick 14-0 lead. We were able to tie things up about midway in the second quarter. Zachary Sweeney came in for QB, came in on us playing QB. Northwestern and us battling back and forth, a lot of points in the second quarter. We went into the locker rooms trailing by 4 points, 28-24. Got it down to a 1-point game in the third quarter. Got ourselves the lead here midway through the fourth. Mansfield then got the 2-point conversion to give us a 7-point lead. Northwestern able to tie it. Then we had a huge drive here, very, very clutch drive. Got ourselves into range, gave Landon Walker a shot, 41-yard field goal off the last play of the game to give us a 3-point win. Very exciting victory in the home opener. Next, we were at home again, ACC opener against Boston College. Boston College gave USC a tight game just before us. We were expecting this to be a battle, and it was. Very much back and forth hit through the first half. At halftime, it was 21-21. We had some good plays, had some bad plays. Had ourselves a 14-point lead in the second quarter, but Boston College finished the first half off very strong. Zachary Sweeney ended up getting injured, a significant rib injury that pretty much had him sidelined away from the quarterback position the rest of the season. Tiger Garrison came in. He was playing banged up. Boston College got another few more big plays from their defense. They had themselves a 14-point lead entering the fourth quarter. We worked very hard, played some great football in the fourth, had things tied up here with this 18-yard pass from Garrison to Ross. And then the very final play of the game, one of the most exciting endings of the Pecknold era. It's got to be not able to get ourselves into field goal range, just side one last throw to the end zone, 1 second on the clock, and we were able to connect Garrison to Lester Wood, a 42-yard Hail Mary on the final play. An epic win. We had to kick an extra point to make it 49-42, and that was the final. Huge, exciting win, back-to-back exciting wins in Winston-Salem. Then we had a bye week. Then we were at home against Miami, who we beat in Miami quite handily last season. It was not to be that way this year. Miami came out strong. They had a 10-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. Tried to battle back here, cut it down to 3, but then Miami scoring the last 14 of the first half. It was 24-7 Hurricanes at halftime. There's no safety here. It stayed 24-7 until the fourth. Miami looking to add even more points. Adrian Lucas, a huge pick six, 104-yard return, gave us a fighting chance. And this field goal cut it down to a 7-point game, but we just couldn't stop Miami. A huge play here, forward to Bullock. Seemed to be the backbreaker, but we kept fighting till the very end, able to get a touchdown drive, but once again, Miami was able to seal it. 41-yard run from Turner made it 38-24 in the final score. First loss of the season, we tried to respond on the road at NC State. Huge game there, and it just did not go the way at all we wanted. NC State came out firing. 14-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. They made it 17-0 late in the first half. A really quick, furious drive was able to get us some points before halftime, 17-3. But NC State came out strong in the second half, made it a 21-point game. We made a run though, certainly never back down here. Thrown from Goolsby, another pick six from Adrian Lucas, having a huge year. That cut it to a 7-point game, gave us some hope entering the fourth, but it was all NC State in the fourth quarter, outscoring us 17-0. They were able to cruise to a 41-17 victory. That loss pretty much knocked us out of contention for the ACC right away. NC State was off to a very strong start, undefeated in conference play. We had the head-to-head loss of them. So we knew our chances were very small. Tried to just move on here. On the road at Florida State. Florida State was reeling from the season before, looking to turn things around. This was a great game. Came right down to the wire here. Florida State had a couple big plays in the first quarter, 14-10 lead for the Florida State Seminoles after one, but we were able to take the lead 17-14 for halftime. Extended a bit here in the third. Florida State grabbed the lead in the third with a 33-yard pass from Wheeler to Gibson. It came right down to the wire. Defense came up huge to give our offense one last chance, and a huge clutch drive. Landon Walker in range. We make it. If he makes it, we win. If we miss it, we lose. If he makes it, we win. If he misses it, we lose. And he made it 33 yards on the final play of the game. 23-21 win, ending our two-game skid. Then on the road at Tennessee, they were ranked number 3 in the country at the time of this game. A lot of excitement in Tennessee, a big hostile crowd, and we absolutely brought it. Tennessee got out to a strong start, 7-0 lead here. Got a touchdown, showed aggressiveness, 1 for 2, had an 8-7 lead after the first quarter. Extended it with a field goal and then a touchdown pass, made it 18-7. Back and forth a bit here. Tennessee scored. Huge play here. We decided to take one last throw to the end zone at the end of the first half. Garrison to Pennington, 29 yards. A huge play. They gave us a touchdown, extended our lead a bit. Tennessee kept trying to climb back in it, but we always had an answer for it. And when it all settled, we had ourselves a 42-28 win. This play here was the backbreaker for the Volunteers. This 43-yard pass from Garrison to Ross gave it a 14-point lead late, and that was the final. Huge win for us. Tennessee fans certainly not liking that. Their first loss of the season, dropping them from number 3. Then we were at home against ECU after 3 straight road games, and this was a first of the Coach Bob Pecknold era, pitching a shutout defensively. Probably an unlikely one. ECU has put up a bunch of points in some games earlier this season, but Kirkland Nance with a 52-yard pick six, first big play of our defense, and we were able to shut them down the whole time. 14-0 after 1, 14-0 at halftime, cruising to a 35-0 win. Garrison had a big run in this. Mansfield had a few touchdowns on the ground. Then we were at home against Duke, looking to keep our winning streak going, both on the season and against Duke in the rivalry series. This game was absolutely epic, an instant classic in this rivalry. We got ourselves the first points of the game, but then Duke scored 28 straight. They had a 28-7 lead. Huge drive here at the end of the first half, getting in the end zone, making a 14-point deficit at halftime. Cut it to 7. Duke extended it to 14. Cut it back to 7. Finally tied things up here in the fourth. And then once again, wouldn't you know, it came right down to Landon Walker's foot on the final play of the game, nailing a 31-yard field goal, an epic 38-35 comeback win against Duke. Huge win for us. Loving that one. Then we were at home against Clemson. Not loving this one so much. I knew this was going to be a challenge going in. Tigers, of course, a very good team. We had ourselves a 7-3 lead after the first quarter. Clemson came out strong in the second, a couple huge runs. At halftime, we were all tied up, 17-17. Walker nailed a field goal to tie things up. Field goals for Clemson in the third quarter gave him a 6-point lead, and this touchdown gave him a 13-point lead. Got to within 6. Huge pass here. Tried our best to get back all the way. Had an opportunity, but ended up at pick 6, hand from Clemson, intercepting and taking away our last chance, and then running it all the way back for a touchdown. This was a really frustrating loss. Games against Miami and NC State, they were in charge the whole time, pretty much had the lead the whole game. This one we felt like we had opportunities, not able to get it done. Then we were on the road at Maryland. We took out our frustration on the Terrapins. 51-14 ended up being the final score here. Defense looking sharp for sure. Big pick 6 here. Made it 27-0 going into halftime. And we just kept cruising in the third quarter. Maryland was able to get some points in the fourth. We got some backup, some playing time. They were able to get a run, then a long pass, but no problem at all in this one. A 51-14 win on the road. Finished off a regular season on the road at Georgia Tech. And this one was a frustrating game. Offense struggling to get anything going. No points through the first 3 quarters. Defense was playing well to hang us, keep us in it. It was 10-0 Georgia Tech entering the fourth. And extended to 17-0 though. Big play. We fought the whole time. We gave up everything we could do. Georgia Tech got this touchdown here to give them a 16-point lead. Extra point would have made it 17 points, would have completely put it out of reach. Blocked the extra point, keep it a 16-point game. Had a quick drive, got the 2-point conversion, even got the onside kick, thinking maybe we could pull off a miracle comeback, but it was not meant to be. Georgia Tech got the INT, and then a 51-yard run from Morris to seal it. 30-15 loss to end the regular season. Bowl game, it was pretty much make it or break it on the year for us. This was our Super Bowl of the season. How this game went would determine how we feel about the year, pretty much. And we were up against the Fresno State Bulldogs. Rainy game, sloppy game, defensive struggle, and we just found a way. Fresno State, 3-0 lead in the first quarter, got an early field goal, no points the rest of the first half. Extended it to 6-0 in the third quarter. Then this beautiful play, the only touchdown of the game, an option. Garrison tossing it to Ross, running 15 yards for the TD, adding the extra point. Defense able to shut down the Bulldogs in the fourth. 7-6 victory in the Independence Bowl. Very exciting win there, sending our seniors out with a win, ending the season on a high note. Now let's take a look at the final conference standings. The ACC Atlantic, this is, of course, after all the bowl games have been played. The NC State Wolfpack, they are the ACC champions. Congratulations to them. They finished number 6 in the country. They will finish with an 8-1 record. They took down the Miami Hurricanes in the Coastal. Miami was in a 4-way tie, actually, in the Coastal Division to be the representative in the ACC Championship game, and they won via tiebreaker. They gave NC State a competitive game in the ACC title game, but NC State is the winners in the ACC this year. The Big 12, that went to the Texas Longhorns. Great season from Texas, finishing number 3. They had a big win against TCU late in the season to wrap up the Big 12. Big East champion is the Louisville Cardinals. They finished with an 11-2 record, number 9 in the country. Congratulations to them. In the Big 10, that goes to Michigan State, the Spartans. Big 10 champions, taking care of business in the Big 10 title game against Wisconsin. Solid win for them, for sure. Conference USA, that went to Southern Miss, the Golden Eagles. Congratulations to Southern Miss. Taking down SMU in the Conference USA Championship. Look at the Independents. Very strong year from Notre Dame, of course. Look at the MAC. The MAC champion is the Ohio Bobcats, finishing with an 11-3 record. Great year for them. They took down Western Michigan in the MAC title game. Mountain West champions, Wyoming, 11-2 overall, 10-0 in conference play. Great season from Wyoming. Incredible year from the Cowboys. making it all the way to a BCS Bowl. Congratulations to them. Pac-12 goes to USC, Oregon. If they were able to get the win in the Pac-12 championship, they would have been going to the national championship with an undefeated record. But USC closed the door on that. We went for the Trojans to win the Pac-12 title and go to the Rose Bowl. SEC champions, once again, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama took a loss middle of the season on the road at Texas A&M. They lost by 7. It was a huge win for Texas A&M. It certainly sent shockwaves throughout the country. Maybe Alabama would not win the national title this year, but Alabama was flawless the rest of the season. They got the breaks they needed to get into the title game and took care of business. In the Sun Belt, FIU, congratulations, finishing number 19 in the country with an 11-2 record, Sun Belt champions. In the WAC, a 16 conference Idaho with a 4-8 overall record. That is enough for them to get the WAC championship from 3-2 in conference, winning the tiebreaker. Congratulations to the Idaho Vandals. And now a look at the bowl games. Got bowl season throughout the country. Close games here. Close game between Ohio State and Florida State ends their season with a victory in the Hawaii Bowl over Houston. We edge out Fresno State with a narrow margin, 7-6. It's like a low scoring game of bowl season, I believe. North Carolina takes down Temple by 2 in the Belk Bowl. Kansas State ends up winning the Holiday Bowl. Georgia Tech winning in the Champ Sports Bowl over Pittsburgh. Tennessee beating Miami in the Music City Bowl. Virginia beating Arizona in the Sun Bowl. South Carolina beating Clemson in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. Virginia Tech beating Houston in the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl. Texas A&M finish out there, you're solid. I will get another win there. Rose Bowl goes to Michigan State, 35-31 over USC. Congratulations to Spartans. The Allstate Sugar Bowl, Washington defeats Louisville 48-41. The Orange Bowl, Michigan defeats NC State 42-36. The Wolfpack go down to the Orange Bowl. Congratulations, Michigan. The Fiesta Bowl, Texas defeats Wyoming 47-17. Great year for the Cowboys, but not meant to be in the Fiesta Bowl. And the BCS National Championship. Notre Dame undefeated entering this game. Alabama looking for a record-setting 4th straight national championship. How did this one go? Oh, big play here. Alabama early. Irvin with a 21-yard pick six. Just minutes into the game, gave Alabama a 7-0 lead. They made it 14-0 with a run there from Harris after one. Alabama got up to a 28-0 lead here late in the second quarter. Notre Dame was able to get on the board, make it 28-7 going into halftime, but Alabama made it 35-7. They just ran away with this one. Notre Dame settling for a field goal there. Alabama making it 42-10. A late touchdown for Notre Dame. All Crimson Tide. Once again, Alabama will be the national champions for the 4th consecutive year. First time ever a college football team has done that. And yeah, 4 in a row, 5 out of the last 6 years, Alabama will win the national title. Great season by Notre Dame, but it ends poorly for them as they get taken care of by Crimson Tide in the national title game, for sure. Congratulations to Alabama, #1 once again. Washington's going to finish #2 in the country with a 12-1 record. Their only loss was to Oregon late in the year. Texas finishes #3, 12-1. Very solid year for them. Michigan will finish #4, 11-2. Notre Dame, that'll drop them down to #5. NC State will finish #6, after the Orange Bowl loss. Oregon will finish number 7, TCU number 8, Louisville number 9, and Nevada will finish number 10 in the country. Here's a look at the rest of the top 25 at the end of the season. We will finish unranked, just outside of the rankings, as you can see. All right, now let's take a look at the season stats. Tiger Garrison, our main QB this season. Zachary Sweeney had some playing time early before his injury. He played well. 34-47, 502 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 INT. For him, Tiger Garrison, main guy though. A bit of an up and down season. There were certainly moments of brilliance from Tiger Garrison. Had some nice games, had some really nice passing, made some really big plays, but struggled with accuracy sometime and forcing the ball a bit too much. 22 touchdowns, 21 INTs, not a very good ratio. Threw for 2,721 yards, 186 out of 333. Rushing wise, Xavier Mansfield, our senior, 906 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4.5 average. Great work from him. Abel Pennington, the freshman, 72 carries, 308 yards, 1 touchdown. Jasper Goolsby, 46 carries, 223, 3 touchdowns. Tiger Garrison, a lot of sacks. Scotty Roth, the 1 touchdown on the ground. That was the only touchdown of the Independence Bowl, the game winner. Here's a look at the rest of the stats from everyone. There you go. Now, receiving was Michael Fogel, a redshirt senior. Big year for him, 48 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 9 touchdowns for him. Great season. Also, big years from Scotty Ross, Lester Wood, 8 touchdowns from him. Joseph Childress. Will Pennington had the 1 touchdown. That was a big one against Tennessee before halftime. Francis Baxter, 1 catch, 10 yards, 1 touchdown. Should get more playing time for sure next season, his senior year. Blocking. Seniors that are gone. Carlton Mills, redshirt senior, leading the team in tackling with 89. Great year from him, especially down the stretch. Big year for Kirkland Nance, Henry Reese, of course. Jabari Lamb, Adrian Lucas. Tremendous year from Adrian Lucas. Patrick Harris, touchdowns. Defense touchdown from Fitzpatrick. Pick 6. Just everyone had to tackle. All right, Landon Walker, great year kicking, 13 of 14, 92%. His long was 53. 47 of 48 on extra points, that's 97%. Great year there, for sure. Also good year punting wise, 49 attempts. Put an opponents deep a few times. Great work, great work. Used a few different guys, kick return. Harold Lewis was our main guy, Chester Kelly as well. Harold Lewis, we believe he'll get better here in upcoming years. I think he can be really explosive here in his career at Wake Forest. Could be a big special teams player for us. Fogel, our main punt returner. Scotty Ross had a couple. So there we go. That is the stats of the year. That is it for the 2014 season. Very solid year, 9-4, ending with an exciting win, very memorable victory in the Independence Bowl. We're knocked out of ACC contention pretty much early. Same with chance for BCS Bowl. Not able to get to double-digit wins, finished unranked. So there are certainly things that we wanted to accomplish as well that we were not able to. Gonna have a lot of work to do in the off season to get back to the level we want to be at. Still a great year, something to feel proud of. Next year, though, I feel like we're going to do better. We're going to work really hard this off season. Let's go, Deeks!